Well, hello, everyone. My name is MightyStream, and I am going to do your April the 6th spiritual principle a day in a meditation. I hope that you're having a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful morning. If you need to reach me, let me remind you of the email. You can reach out to me at recoveryofhope21@gmail.com. Now, let's go ahead and get into that meditation. Okay, can you see that? That meditation is entitled Spirituality in Simplicity. Spirituality in Simplicity. And this is what it says. When we allow spirituality to be simple, we allow it to be universal. I like that. That is taken from the Living Clean book, Chapter 3, Spirituality in Practice. Addicts have a knack for complicating things. Finding a spirituality that works for us is no exception. Spirituality is central to Narcotics Anonymous, and what that looks like is up to each of us. We engage in a personal journey of discovery. The steps help us define and develop spiritual connections, and we free ourselves to live according to our convictions. Many of us were relieved that figuring out the whole higher power thing could be a lifelong project. As one addict put it, I was able to hear the message and receive the gift of recovery without subscribing to any specific set of beliefs. What a relief. Some of us have to try out many belief systems, conventional and otherwise. We may find a good fit, or maybe we eliminate a few potential paths. A buffet approach, a little of this and a little of that suits many of us. I realized that my effort to define my spirituality was boxing me in, limiting how my higher power operated. One member shared, when I stopped imposing limitations, I started to see my higher power, my HP, everywhere. It is everyone and everything. It just is. The bond we share with other recovering addicts is both simple and sacred. The steps help us understand ourselves, and that makes it easier to connect with others. Caring about my fellow members helps me, one member shared. I notice when the light comes back into a newcomer's eyes, and it is one of the most beautiful gifts of recovery for me. Many of us approach spirituality as a practical matter. We know that when we show up at a meeting, we feel less alone. When we are of service, we think less of ourselves. When we share a hug with another member, we feel loved. These simple spiritual actions are at the heart of our program of recovery. I will connect with other members today and appreciate the simple spirituality in those connections. Let's take a moment of silence followed by the we version of the Serenity Prayer. Moment of silence now, please. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things that we cannot change, the courage to change the things that we can, and the wisdom to know the difference just for today. Please and thank you. I think that's pretty powerful. I believe that the whole point of this meditation is that we can actually uh, benefit from the simplicity part of the program, and we can use it to our benefit, right? We can benefit from it and we can use it to our benefit. So, in other words, it is already written into the program to keep it simple. That does not mean not to do any work, okay? However, it does mean that the program of Narcotics Anonymous has tried to simplify the process of recovery from the disease of addiction. I can benefit from that. It's already written into the strategy, the program itself. Okay. Now, when I actively take that and I apply it to spirituality, which is a huge portion of the program. You think about the steps 1 through 12. When you get to step 12, we're talking about having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps. So it is, you can't take away the concept of spirituality just because you don't want to talk about it, right? It's there. However, because simplicity is written into the program, I can benefit from it in the sense if I apply it. So it's beneficial all by itself. But if I actually apply it to the areas that I'm working on, I will find that instead of becoming exasperated with certain situations, overwhelmed with situations, now I'm going to start understanding that when it comes to spirituality, it is like a work in progress. No one comes here and they have nailed it. Even if they have a higher power, there's probably been some controversy, some confusion, some conflict. And you're not going to settle that just because you stop putting drugs inside of you. Now, when you start working on yourself, you begin to see where the dissonance is, and you can work on that. This is a program that allows you to have a God of your own understanding. Why is that important to me? It's important to me because I come from a religious background that stifled my growth. The concept of just being overly religious and not spiritual at all is not appealing to me. However, for someone else, it may be very appealing. For another person, they may be eclectic. They just take a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and it works for them. As it mentions here, another person might approach it from a practical point of view. I don't need to complicate it. I don't even need to name it, my higher power, anything. I just know that when I do service work, I feel better. When I make a meeting, I don't feel alone. When I pick up the phone or I sponsor, I feel a feeling of altruism. I feel like I'm giving back, right? And so it can help all of us if we are able to define it for ourselves, but more importantly, keeping it simple as we define it, not overcomplicating it, and not necessarily having to have all of the answers. I mean, this has really been a lifesaver for me. And I just hope that you get the same level of peace that I've gotten from being able to have a God of my own understanding and to have a relationship with that God in a manner that is healing and brings peace to me. My name is Mighty Stream. I've enjoyed talking to you today, and I hope that you will have a beautiful day on purpose. I will be talking to you soon.